Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty amazing. We're going to uncover how the very first 90 minutes of your day actually hold the key to reversing the cellular aging process. Seriously, if you're over 60, the specific way you wake up has this massive, disproportionate impact on your biology, your brain chemistry, and really the entire trajectory of your overall health. And honestly, the best part about all of this, we're going to achieve it using completely free, scientifically validated, and super accessible habits. You don't need some pricey gym membership, and you definitely don't need to stock up on expensive supplements. You just need a solid plan. Here's our roadmap for today's protocol. First, we'll look at why mornings matter after 60. Then, our first steps, hydration and sunlight. Third is fueling up with movement and protein. Fourth, the power of stress management. And finally, we'll map out your complete 90-minute protocol.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, why mornings matter after 60. So, think about it. When you wake up, you've typically been fasting for about 12 to 14 hours, right? This creates a metabolic state that actually kicks autophagy into high gear. Autophagy is basically your body's cellular cleanup crew, actively clearing out damaged parts. Now, what you do in these early hours dictates whether you maximize that powerful anti-aging cleanup or just abruptly shut it down. Let's look at the cortisol awakening response. Now, I know cortisol gets a pretty bad rap as the stress hormone, but this specific morning surge, it isn't bad stress at all. It's actually a super crucial, healthy biological signal. In those 30 to 45 minutes after you wake up, a robust rise in cortisol mobilizes your energy, fires up your immune function, and literally primes your brain for learning. For a lot of older adults, a blunted cortisol response is exactly what's causing that frustrating daily fatigue and brain fog. We absolutely want to optimize this response, not suppress it.
Moving right along to section 2, let's talk about your crucial first steps, hydration and sunlight. 1 liter. That is roughly how much water the human body loses during a typical night of sleep just through breathing, sweating, and urine production. And here's the catch. Because adults over 60 naturally have less efficient kidneys when it comes to conserving water, less reliable thirst signals, and might even be taking diuretic medications, waking up dehydrated is essentially your default condition. It's absolutely critical that we address this 1 liter deficit immediately before you do anything else. And yes, that means before you even think about turning on the coffee maker. So here is your immediate hydration game plan. You want to drink 16 to 24 ounces of water within the first 15 minutes of waking up. But don't just drink it plain. Add a pinch of high-quality sea salt, a squeeze of fresh lemon, or maybe some coconut water. This is vital because it provides natural electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Throwing those in reduces cardiovascular strain, lowers your blood viscosity, and helps your cells absorb that water way more efficiently. It's a simple, non-negotiable rule. Water first, coffee second. Okay, next up, within your first 30 to 60 minutes of waking, you've got to get outside. Just 10 to 30 minutes of natural morning light directly stimulates these specialized photoreceptors in your eyes, which then send a signal straight to your brain's suprachiasmatic nucleus. Try saying that 3 times fast. Basically, that's your master biological timekeeper. Keep in mind, indoor light is literally hundreds of times too dim to trigger this. By stepping outside without your sunglasses, you are precisely calibrating your daily rhythms. And here's something mind-blowing. This morning light exposure actually sets the timer for your evening melatonin release, meaning what you do at 7 a.m. directly dictates how well you're going to sleep 14 hours later.
All right, section 3, fueling up with movement and protein.
This is where we can start stacking our habits. While you're outside soaking up that crucial morning sunlight, you can seamlessly transition into some intentional physical movement. And hey, we are not talking about some exhausting, high-intensity boot camp here. Just a modest 10 to 30-minute brisk walk or a gentle yoga routine while you're still in that overnight fasted state works absolute wonders. Because your insulin levels are low right now, you dramatically increase fat oxidation. But the real magic? Morning movement sparks the production of BDNF, which essentially acts like Miracle-Gro for your brain. It stimulates new neuron growth and strengthens your synaptic connections, acting as a massive shield against cognitive decline.
30 to 40, that's the magic number. Following your movement, your body enters this highly receptive, critical anabolic window where your muscle tissue is just primed and hungry for protein-driven growth signals. To halt the accelerated muscle loss that often comes with aging, you really need to consume 30 to 40 grams of complete protein. We're talking high-quality stuff. Eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or smoked salmon. Hitting this exact 30 to 40 gram threshold is biologically required to actually trigger muscle protein synthesis.
Think about a typical American breakfast for a second. Cereal, toast, pastries. It's packed with refined carbs that just send your blood sugar on a total roller coaster ride. You spike,
You crash. You're immediately hungry again, and you've given absolutely zero stimulus to your muscles. But by swapping that out for a high-protein breakfast, you deliver a leucine-rich stimulus that actually protects and preserves aging muscle. Plus, a protein-heavy breakfast helps synthesize key neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine. Those are literally the chemical drivers that give you sustained focus and motivation all morning long.
Let's move on to Section 4, the power of stress management. Now listen, this is not just about feeling relaxed or zen. This is about altering your biology at a microscopic level. To understand why, let's talk about telomeres. These are the protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes, kind of like those little plastic tips on your shoelaces that keep them from fraying. Their length is a direct, measurable biological marker of how fast your cells are aging. Chronic psychological stress, which so many adults over 60 deal with every single day, quite literally shortens those telomeres. It ramps up neuroinflammation, cardiovascular damage, and belly fat accumulation. So managing your stress first thing in the morning, it's not a luxury, it's a vital medical intervention to protect those telomeres. The great news is that protecting your cells only takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Before you even think about checking your phone, reading the news, or opening an email, I want you to practice some slow diaphragmatic breathing. It's easy. Inhale deeply for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, and exhale slowly for 6 to 8 counts. This simple mechanical action instantly activates your parasympathetic nervous system, creating a fast, measurable drop in cortisol. You can also use this short window for gratitude journaling or mindfulness meditation. The whole goal here is just setting your nervous system's baseline to calm before the outside world starts demanding your attention. Okay, Section 5. Let's pull all this incredible science together into your complete 90-minute protocol. Check out the powerful synergy of this routine. It's so accessible. At minute 0, you wake up and immediately hydrate with your electrolytes. By minute 15, you're outside, stacking that natural sunlight exposure with a nice, gentle walk. Around minute 45, you come back inside for just 5 to 10 minutes of slow breathing or stress management. And then by minute 60, you're sitting down to a delicious, high-protein breakfast. You see how each habit organically feeds into and amplifies the next? They compound those anti-aging benefits over weeks and months of consistent practice. I want you to consider this really profound truth. Aging is a biological process shaped at every moment by the choices made about how to live. Aging isn't just time passively passing you by while you watch. It's a highly malleable biological process, and that process is heavily dictated by exactly what you choose to do in that crucial first hour and a half of your day. You absolutely have the power to steer that process in a direction that supports your vitality and long-term independence. So we've walked through 5 scientifically validated habits today: electrolyte hydration, natural sunlight, intentional movement, a high-protein breakfast, and deliberate stress management. Not a single one of these requires a gym membership, and they definitely don't require breaking the bank. They just require you to step up and take control of your morning. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on tonight before you go to sleep. Your biology is waiting. How are you going to start tomorrow morning?